Hi, everybody. This is Dan Stolberg, and welcome to this week's Middle East Update. And make sure you go to our website at holygroundexplorations.com to access the PowerPoint. It's a PDF that comes along with this because in the time that we have allowed with YouTube, oftentimes we're unable to get through all of our material. And after all, I think you want to see the pictures as well. First, this is the week of March 8th, and so let's establish that. What's going on in Israel, of course, first things first, let's talk about tourism. We're very concerned about what's happening, even though the attacks in Jerusalem are down significantly. Tourism, which is so crucial to the economy of Israel, is not rebounding, and dozens of businesses are closing down, and many of our friends in Israel tell us that no one's coming anymore. So many tours have been canceled. We want to encourage you to take a stand. Come with us to Israel. Let's stand with Israel today to show our support. Go to our website, as I already mentioned. Check out our upcoming, what we call our adventure tour that will be in Israel in June. So check that out. Let's make that stand. Many people will tell you when you land in the land, when your feet hit the ground, you have a strange sensation. And like I said, it's not just me. Ask people that have been there. You don't feel the terror. You feel the shalom of God. So join us. Hezbollah, rattling sabers up north. But even though the Nasrallah is saying, hey, the next time we fight Israel, we're not staying on our side of the border in Lebanon. We'll be in the Galilee. All of this going on. But the bottom line is security experts feel that a war between Hezbollah and Israel is a long way off due to the fighting in Syria and the political condition in Lebanon. Make sure you check out the seal on this picture on this slide that says headlines. Last week, they found a first temple seal, 2,500 years old, in the city of David. And again, check out, it was a rare discovery. You got to see this seal. It's pretty amazing. I thought it was interesting. I'm going to let you read this for yourself. It's called the Palestinian Youth Report. There is a kind of suburb of Hebron, just 5-6 miles to the north of it, that has spawned probably the most teenagers that have committed acts of terrorism who've died. They're called shaheeds. And there was an interview that was done with some of these teenagers there, because over the past month or so, the violence has really subsided. And the question was, I wonder what they're doing or what they're saying that is kind of curtailing these events. And I think the bottom line is that the teenagers that were interviewed said, you know what, we just want a life. We honor these guys or whatever, but the bottom line is we're not interested in following in their steps. They're only doing this because what they would like to have heaven here on earth, but look what we're born into. I would go on to say, look at the prison that Islam keeps us in. And so in order to get heaven, we've got to end our lives early. We don't want that. Amen. And let's continue to pray that the prison doors of Islam will be opened up. Then YouTube. Last, I think, Sunday, YouTube closed down our friend's media site, which is called Palestinian Media Watch, their YouTube account, because they presented something from Palestinian children that talked about killing Jews and smashing the oppressor and destroying the Zionist soul. And so YouTube shut them down. But because of the public outcry, they were reopened on Monday. They were only down for about 24 hours, and our friend Ithamar Marcus kind of sends out his thanks. This is a site you need to have on your favorite list, pmw.com. And it's going to give you a clearer picture of what's actually being said, because they take the Arabic and they translate it so you know what's actually going on and the power of social media. So again, keep this, what I would call ministry, in your prayers. And then something strange is going on. Did you know that I'd say over the last few weeks, there have been 7 different collapses of tunnels from Gaza that are seeking to go into Israel. And many of the Hamas workers are now refusing to work on these terror tunnels because of the coincidences of these collapses. Again, I know Israelis are working on technology in terms of discovering these tunnels, but I can't help but think that this is also the hand of God. You'll see the pictures of some of these tunnels that have been collapsed. And then from something that's really, I think, positive to something really ridiculous is our new, our administration. The White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest is talking about a new approach to fighting ISIS. And the concept is all you need is love. Let's treat them kindly. Let's like them in so many ways. Let's show those what they're missing. Let's not reject them. And this gets to be absolutely ridiculous. And of course, we're hearing Hillary Clinton's policy. We're starting to hear stuff like we need to extol the powers of love and kindness, and the clash of civilizations. And with Obama, you can no longer talk about acts of terror or jihad. Folks, it is jihad. It is terror. People are being beheaded. This is not like us, and let's figure out a way we can all get along. We can't all get along. This is a war between civilizations, and this is ridiculous. This new policy that's being worked on to implement sort of a widespread effort to reach out in social media. Give me a break. All right, well, you can read that article for yourself. I guess I would say Lenin was wrong. It's not all you need is love. Not in this situation. Sorry. Chemical weapons. Defense Minister Moshe Yaalon has indicated that, at least from the Israeli vantage point, the Syrian government has used chemical weapons since the so-called brokered ceasefire. Remember, over 500,000 lives have been lost in this civil war. And, with everything that's going on, when you come to Israel with us, right? You'll be up on the Golan Heights, you'll be at Mount Bental, and you sort of look over into Syria. And this area that you look over to is of great concern to Israelis right now. They're very concerned about the growing Iranian presence and the influence in Syria. And Netanyahu has gone on record to say any peaceful resolutions in Syria must guarantee Israel's security needs, ensuring that Iran does not establish a terror front or a base of operation to come up against Israel. And, it doesn't give you much confidence to know that since the so-called ceasefire, that they've dropped barrels of chemical weapons on civilians. And then, quickly as we wrap this up, I want to alert you. I want to be that sort of watchman on the wall that's blowing the shofar that says, hey, wake up. This is coming. And what is coming? Obama's not finished with the idea of forcing a two-state solution before he leaves office. The U.S. administration is reportedly weighing what would be highly controversial in a move to back the United Nations resolution outlining the principles of a two-state Israeli-Palestinian peace deal in a fresh, brand new peace push. The White House is working on plans to force Israel, against its national interests, to accept a diplomatic resolution with the Palestinians before Obama leaves office that would include the partition of Jerusalem, the what I would call undivided capital of Israel. One scenario has the U.S. pushing Israel to recognize East Jerusalem as the capital of the Palestinian state. And in return, the Palestinians would be asked to, and here you go, wow, recognize Israel as a Jewish state and end their claims for the right of return for so-called Palestinian refugees. Under that scenario, the administration also would recommend the establishment of two states based on the 1949 armistice line, which would leave Israel with slim and none when it comes to defensible borders. Once again, the dividing of Jerusalem. Once again, Joel chapter 3, verse 2, in the valley of Jehoshaphat, I'll gather together in judgment. I will fight against those who would seek to divide my land. Friends, I'm warning you, it ain't over. He's not out of office, and there will be a continued push. It's important for us in this day to stand with Israel and to support Israel. God is not finished, and as you know, Jerusalem is significant. It will be a cup of trembling to all the nations. You know, I don't know if we're in the last day, but we are in the last days. There's no doubt about it. And we need to be firm in our support. And we need to pray for the peace of Jerusalem, that Jerusalem would remain undivided. And we need to pray that Israeli eyes would be open to receive their Messiah. And we need to pray that the prison doors of Islam would be kicked open as well. So with that, let me wish you a shalom. Hey, by the way, if you can't see it, let me check it out. I've got the new sweatshirt on, Yerushalayim. It gives the latitude and longitude of the eternal, undivided capital of Israel. Go to our website. You can check it out if you're interested. Take a stand, whether it's witness wear or whatever. Let's stand. Let's keep Jerusalem united. God bless you and shalom.